Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today I'm going to be giving my match predictions for week 4 Premier League fixtures. And if we get anything like we just saw week 3, we are in for a treat. We saw some epic results, some phenomenal performances, some shocking displays. We saw Liverpool lose to Manchester United at Old Trafford 2-1 for the first time since 2018. We saw Chelsea get battered by Leeds 3-0. We saw other shocking results like Newcastle picking up a point against Manchester City at St. James's Park. So if we get anything like we just saw, I'm telling you, we're going to be seeing some phenomenal displays. And I think we're going to get this yet again. We got two top 8 sides versing out against each other between Chelsea and Leicester City. We got Liverpool trying to bounce back against Bournemouth, trying to claim their first win of the season. We got a London derby between Aston and Fulham. So that's going to be appetizing. So let's see what's going to happen. However, before going into video and give my match predictions, you know what I'm going to say. Make sure you guys like, comment, and hit that big subscribe button right there. And make sure you guys subscribe because only 10% of you guys are actually subscribed to my channel. So the first game I'm going to be predicting is the best game I think all weekend. We've got Chelsea versus Leicester. And like I just said in my introduction, we've got two top 8 sides facing off within each other. And let's see which team will be able to pick up the vital 3 points. And going into this game, a lot of Chelsea fans are wondering, thinking, what is Thomas Tuchel doing? He has to adapt, he has to adjust his tactics because it is obviously not working. He's trying to fix square pegs in circle holes and it is just not going up to the performances he wants to happen. Obviously, we're seeing players play out of position and Chelsea fans are looking like they're angry about this. We've got Ruben Loftus-Cheek playing as a right wing back when we know he's a midfielder. We've got Mount playing as a right winger when we know he's a number 10. We've got Gallagher playing as a CDM when we know he should be further up the pitch. So Thomas Tuchel is being stubborn and he's sticking to his old ways, not mixing it up, not changing the formation, maybe potentially get a 4-3-3 to provide more consistency with players' performances playing in their correct positions. And going into this game against Leicester, this may be a worry because if he's sticking to a tactic which is just obviously not working, even though they beat Everton, maybe they might drop points yet again against Leicester City. And I know I'm beating this point like a dead drum, but we know Chelsea going forward, they're not dangerous. No one's really scared of them. We saw the game against Leeds United. I feel like they didn't even muster 3 shots on target. That's how bad it was. I know Sterling and Mount, obviously on their day, they can be very creative and potentially get a goal, but consistently, week in, week out, they're not that typical number 9 prototypical striker who will be able to bag 15 to 20 goals per Premier League season on a consistent basis. So Chelsea in that department, I feel like they're struggling. And Kai Havertz, I feel like I've been saying it for a while now, he's been hiding behind Lukaku and Werner's misfailures in the last couple of seasons, that Chelsea fans haven't really honed in on him and how he hasn't been performing well lately. But if there's a team to face right now that you want to score goals against and try to start firing on all cylinders, it's Leicester City right now. They've conceded the most goals in the Premier League so far, 8 in their first 3 games. Brendan Rodgers has tried to change players, tinker with it, but it still feels like they have been leaking, conceding goals from set pieces and even in open play. We know Fofana wasn't playing in the last game against Southampton and Amrati played, but it doesn't look like things changed. Johnny Evans, is he getting up there in age? So there's many concerns and worries for Leicester going in this game, because we know defensively they're just going to hand out chances and Chelsea may be able to capitalise on this. However, I feel like Leicester do have something to look forward to. I feel like Jamie Vardy's pace in behind is going to hurt Chelsea, especially since Koulibaly is going to be missing the game since he got a suspension against Leeds United. So let's see if he'll be able to target players, because we know Jamie Vardy is very cunning and street smart when it comes to playing football. Maybe hang on the last line of a player like Thiago Silva who doesn't have that pace to keep up with him. So let's see what's going to happen there. But at the end of the day, I feel like as a team, Leicester City are not good enough. Chelsea should be getting the 3 points. They are at home. They're going to have their faithful crowd cheering them on. And I feel like although their patterns of play over the 90 minutes may not be consistent, I just feel like they will have just enough to beat Leicester City. So I'm going to go for a boring game, but I feel like they'll just be able to cross the line, a 2-0 victory for Chelsea at home. So the next game I'm going to be predicting is Southampton versus Manchester United. And I feel like these teams are very similar at the moment, as we have just seen. Both teams are inconsistent, unpredictable. You do not know what side of a performance they're going to bring up. We saw Southampton in their last 2 games, they actually playing diabolical in the first half, but stringing back a massive comeback to get 4 points in their last 2 games. And we saw Manchester United out of nowhere perform excellent against Liverpool, beating them 2-1. So let's see which team will be able to perform on their day, because we never know when their day will actually arrive. So going in this game, I want to quickly talk about Manchester United, and that performance against Liverpool was wow. It was amazing. I can't lie, they showed fight, determination, spirit. They outfought us. They were very aggressive in their tackling, and they countered us with speed and took advantage of the gaping holes in behind, especially from the right hand side. However, going this game against Southampton, it's not like Ten Hag's going to be able to form the exact same tactics against that side, because we know that Southampton are going to be defensively much more aware, defensively cautious. They're not going to play such a ridiculous high line where players like Sancho, Rashford, etc. will be able to take advantage and run in behind. So I feel like this game is going to be much more tailored, much more focused on Manchester United's creative players. Eriksen, Bruno Fernandes had such a great game, but it was only such a great game from them because the game was so unpredictable. It was wild, it was frantic, it was end-to-end football. And this game against Southampton is going to be much more methodical. I feel like Southampton are going to be much more defensive, and it's going to be up to these two creative midfielders to pick out passes to try hurt Southampton. So I don't know if Manchester United are ready yet to make that step. They're not going to have that Old Trafford cheering them on to give them that extra intensity, etc., stuff like that. But going forward, I don't know if they're going to be able to break down a low block of Southampton if they deem to play this style of football. Southampton are going to be very hard, and even if Manchester United do get an early goal, do even get 2 early goals, we do know Southampton do have the skill and the toughness not to mentally give up, because we just saw in the last 2 games, they went down against good oppositions and they were able to pick up points. I feel like Che Adams will be able to play. I feel like he will linger to the size of Martinez, because we know, although we had a great game against Liverpool, we know there's still question marks there in that department. So let's see if he'll be able to score like he did against Leicester City, scoring 2 goals. But at the end of the day, I feel like Manchester United do have the momentum, do have the spirit, and I feel like they're just raring to go yet again to prove to the fans that they really do care about the club. I think they'll be able to win away from home. It's going to be very difficult, but I feel like the midfielders will be able to string enough chances to make sure they can score goals. I feel like Casemiro is going to be very important, plugging right there into that CDM role, putting out fires. So going this game, I think Manchester United will just edge it 2-1 away from home. Very difficult, but they will just be able to pull through. So the next game I'm going to be predicting is Liverpool versus Bournemouth. And where do I start as a Liverpool fan? Absolutely pathetic, absolutely diabolical. We got absolutely battered by Manchester United, especially in the first 70 minutes. And I know we only lost 2-1, but if you watch the 70 minutes, it's as if Manchester United just wanted it more. They had more hunger, more desire, more spirit to win the game, the aggressiveness. I just feel like we just have the aura as Liverpool players and fans that we're just going to walk into every game and win. We saw against Fulham, and this simmered into the game against Manchester United. We never got out of the blocks. We never really looked like we were going to win. We just thought it was going to be a walk in the park, as if we have this inherent right to win games because we have great players and a great manager. So we need to get this sort of philosophy and idea out of our head and actually focus in this game against Bournemouth, because this is a great opportunity to bounce back to pick up 3 points. We're versing Bournemouth. They've lost the last 2 games, although against excellent oppositions in Manchester City and Arsenal. They still lost, and Liverpool are in the ballpark and caliber of these 2 sides, so they should be really winning this game. We could not ask for a better game right now. A newly promoted side at home, where they're not going to have their fans to provide them that extra intensity when it comes to tackles that Manchester United did. So we should really be picking up all 3 points. I know there's so many worries. I know we have so many weaknesses at this point. We have 6 injuries to very important key players who would have been playing against Manchester United. Also, our midfield right now is not looking very creative. It looks like Leicester. It looks like they are void of ideas when it comes to creating chances. So I feel like Carvalho must start in this game against Bournemouth, because I feel like he changed the game against Manchester United when he came on past the 70th minute, because he was creating chances, and we know Bournemouth are going to sit back, counter, and look to target that right hand side. So if we can have someone like Carvalho and Elliott getting on the ball between the lines to create chances, I feel like we have a great chance to punish Bournemouth. And they're very young, they're very energetic, so they'll be able to cover all blades of grass when we do not have the ball. And I feel like Henderson and Milner right now, they just need to sit on the bench at the moment, because they have not been performing to the levels we have expected them, which they've been doing for the last few years or so. Going in this game, we should be winning. It should be a straightforward victory, a great opportunity to get our first 3 points. Salah's still scoring goals like the game against Manchester United. Diaz as well is causing havoc to opposition still. So I think we should be winning. I'm going to go for a 3-0 victory. So the next game I'm going to be predicting is Manchester City versus Crystal Palace. And you know what? I think both sides will be relatively happy considering other teams dropping points that they've had a good start to the season. So let's see which team will be able to build off this momentum and secure the 3 points. I know what people are thinking. Manchester City, one of the best teams in the league, one of the best teams across all of Europe. This game should be straightforward against Crystal Palace, a lower half Premier League side. But if you know, in the last 2 games Manchester City have faced Crystal Palace in the Premier League, they have not won. In fact, Crystal Palace have been able to pick up 4 points in their last 2 games against Manchester City. And I feel like Crystal Palace right now, with the caliber of players they have at their disposal, with Patrick Vieira leading them as the manager, I feel like they are tailored. They are suited to face Manchester City and potentially win. We saw against Liverpool the way they play with the counter-attacking nature of Eze transitioning the ball with speed and intensity, picking up the ball because he has great dribbling skills and trying to find Zaha on the right hand side every single time. I feel like Crystal Palace are going to exactly replicate this performance against Manchester City. We saw Kyle Walker be lackluster, he's sloppy on the ball, and we saw St. Maximin torture him throughout the 90 minutes. And I'm not saying Kyle Walker's a poor defender, but right now he hasn't started the season very well. So Wilfried Zaha has scored 3 goals in his last 2 games. He's going to be licking his lips thinking that potentially he will have a chance to hurt Kyle Walker, especially when he pushes forward and joins the attack. I feel like Crystal Palace have got a game plan which will work. It is proven, and I feel like potentially they can win this game. I'm not underestimating Manchester City. We know Kevin De Bruyne and Bernardo Silva, the attacking players, had great games against Newcastle, and we saw it because they scored 3 goals, and Haaland has been picking up the goals. But I just feel like there's a thing in my head which is saying Crystal Palace is going to win. It's just a little whisper. I'm thinking about the Townsend goal a few years ago from outside the box. I'm thinking about last year, the 2 performances, picking up 4 points. I just feel like Crystal Palace under a counter-attack when they transition the play, I feel like they'll be able to catch out Manchester City, who have been immobile, to counteract these sort of play. So go to this game, yes, call me delusional, yes, call me crazy, but I think Crystal Palace, with their game plan, they will be able to win this game. They're flying, they have confidence. So I think they will win this game 2-1 away from home. So the next game I'm going to be predicting is Arsenal versus Fulham, and I feel like this has the potential to be the game of the weekend because we know this is going to be an intense, fierce London derby between these 2 sides. I know people are going to be obviously talking about how well Arsenal have started the season, deservedly so, because there's been so many people doubting them to finish in the top 4, but we can't forget how well Fulham have started. They have been able to claim 5 points within their last 3 games, and if you really think about it, if you really look at the games, you would be thinking they should be sitting pretty top of the table right next to Arsenal, because they deserve to beat Liverpool, they deserve to beat Wolves if Mitrovic didn't miss that penalty. So it must be frustrating for the Fulham fans right now, but at the end of the day, look, many pundits, so many fans thinking that they're going to be Yo-Yo Club and get relegated, and right now it looks like they may be staying in the Premier League. I know it's early in the season, but we'll see where the season leads us. But going this game, I have to start with the home side, and you know what? I am running out of superlatives to praise Arsenal. They have been playing so well. Everyone knows their duties, everyone knows their jobs, everyone knows their responsibilities. All the players are listening to Mikel Arteta's instructions, and it looks like it's paying dividends. They're playing with swagger, they're playing with confidence. You saw Jesus pluck the ball out of the heavens against Bournemouth and being able to drive at the defence and created that first chance for the first goal. You saw Saliba whip the ball with a finesse when he scored the last goal, like it was David Villa back in 2011. The way the Arsenal players are playing right now, it just feels like no one's going to be able to stop them. They've just been playing so well, they've been gelling well, and I told you about Odegaard not showing up in the last couple of games, and it's only a matter of time that he will. He showed up in the last game against Bournemouth, scoring 2 important goals. So I feel like Arsenal have been building momentum. I feel like they'll be able to go strength to strength and potentially pick up all 3 points within this game. We know Fulham are going to be a dangerous, tricky side. Mitrovic has been showing his value because so many people were saying that he's not good enough for the Premier League, me included. We saw in the last game him scoring as well. So he's looking right now as a good cheap FPL pick. So let's see if he'll be able to continue the goal contributions. But at the end of the day, Arsenal have kept 2 clean sheets in their last 3 games. Saliba and Gabriel look like a solid partnership who have been physical, have been tough, have the pace in behind to deal with any sort of threats. And I feel like Mitrovic will struggle within this game. Going in this game, Arsenal have been playing with confidence, like I said. They look like they're not going to be beaten at this moment. And Arsenal's specialty, we've seen it across the last decade or so, at home against a lower half opposition, they usually win. So going in this game is going to be a great day at the Emirates for the Arsenal fans, and I think they'll be able to secure the victory 3-0 at home against Fulham FC.